Assessment Unit, College of Pharmacy, King Abdulaziz University. He's a Famer Fellowship, and he got his Joint Master of HPE from Suez Canal University and Maastricht University. He's a certified trainer. He has a YouTube channel with all his activities. With the rapid evolution in technology and widespread of artificial intelligence, it entails us to explore the value of artificial intelligence and how it's shaping the future of medical education. This is what we will know from our esteemed professor, Dr. Mohammed Hassanein. Before we start, I just like to thank the board committee and the training committee, special Dr. Hind Abul Ata from Mansoura University and Dr. Nancy Hosseini from Zagazig University for their help in preparing for this webinar. Before we start, please kindly mute yourself so we will not disturb Dr. Mohammed. And there are two options, chat and QA. If any question, please, during the session, please put it in the question and answer option, and it will be answered after the session in the QA time. Before I give the floor to Dr. Mohammed Hassanein, I thank all the committee, all the attendees from Egypt and from all countries. Have a nice time. Dr. Mohammed, it's your floor.
Okay, thank you. Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening, good afternoon. Hello, everyone. And I'm not sure it is also good morning for someone. Thank you, Prof. Hala, for this introduction. Thank you, Prof. Wagdi and the Egyptian Society for Medical Education for giving me this opportunity to be with you. As mentioned by Prof. Hala, it is the era of artificial intelligence, which reshape everything around us, including medical education. Actually, for today, I like to go to cover some common rules for using artificial intelligence. So what I'll present today is not only related to ChatGPT, but also you can use it for any chatbot like Bard or Bing from Microsoft. I'll try to make this session, inshallah, as interactive as possible with the help of you. So let us start by this fast activity through Menti. So kindly go to menti.com and put this code 31247429, or just scan this barcode and you will go to Menti and start to answer only 2 questions. So please start the activity with me. The title, by the way, is about prompting. So through mastering the skill of prompting, you can deal with any tools of artificial intelligence, and let us say generative artificial intelligence. We have only 2 questions. The first one, your expectations about today. What is your expectations? Okay. Use AI in in health professional education. The different application of AI in medical education gets a way to write effective prompt, to learn more about AI, to use it for my teaching, to help my student how to learn, practical tips on customizing AI in medical education, to understand how the AI works, how to use AI in learning assessment, plus teaching, and sorry, I don't know what happened. Okay. We are still in the expectations. Okay. Chatbot doctor. Okay. Okay, we have 14 participants, inshallah. They will be presented just now. Okay, or we go to here. Okay, the effect of artificial intelligence on medical education and the challenge. More diving. We will dive. We will, inshallah, fly higher and dive deep. I don't know how. Into AI application, new data about engineering tips and the tricks, how to use prompt engineering. MashaAllah, some of you are familiar with prompt engineering. I will get the ability for proper use of AI, best use of AI in medical education, ethical consideration. This is the end of our session, inshallah, to learn about the basis of AI in medical education. Okay, good. Let us go to the second question, which is, what are the most important characteristics of eagles? When you see an eagle, what comes to your mind about it, about its characteristics or feature in eagle? We have here in the chat. Okay. Flying high. This is one. Speed. Focused. What else? Soaring very high. Focus and speed flying. Yeah. Sharp sight. No end. Sharp eyesight. Beak regenerate. Good, mashallah. And what else? Actually, I intended to put this activity because I have a hidden agenda today. Inshallah, all of us will be like eagles in using AI in medical education. And I'll not compromise about this hidden agenda, inshallah. Okay, accurate, sharp. I think also it has a vision and the focus, as you mentioned. Good. Let us return back to the presentation and present this short video about eagle. Let us just to delete this. Okay.
Don't be a parrot in life. A parrot talks way too much, but can't fly high. But an eagle is silent and has the willpower to touch the sky. Here's the 7 mentalities that we can learn from an eagle. Number 1, eagles fly alone at high altitude. Eagles don't fly with sparrows, ravens, and other small birds, meaning stay away from narrow-minded people, those that bring you down. Eagles fly with eagles. There's a saying that goes like this: people you hang around will eventually determine the person you become. Keep good company. Number 2, eagles have vision. They have the ability to focus on something as far as 5 kilometers away. No matter what the obstacles, the eagle will not move his focus from the prey until he grabs it. Meaning, have a vision and remain focused in your life. No matter what the obstacles and challenges you may face, don't give up and you will succeed. Number 3, eagles are fearless. An eagle will never surrender to the size or strength of its prey. It will always give a fight to win its prey or regain its territory, meaning no matter what the size or big your problems are, don't give up. Instead, face it. Successful people are fearless. They face problems head on. Number 4, eagles are tenacious. Eagles love storm. When clouds gather, the eagles get excited. The eagles use the storm wind to lift themselves higher. Once it finds the wind of the storm, the eagles use the raging storm to lift itself above the clouds. This gives the eagle the opportunity to glide and rest its wings. In the meantime, all the other birds hide in the branches and leaves of the tree, meaning achievers are not afraid of challenges. Rather, they relish in them and use them for profitability. Number 5, eagles never eat dead things. Eagles never eat dead meat. In other words, an eagle does not scavenge. It only eats the meat from the prey it kills itself. Meaning, do not rely on your past success. Keep looking for new frontiers to conquer. Leave your past where it belongs, in the past. Number 6, eagles prepare for training. They remove the feather and the soft grass in the nest so that the young ones get uncomfortable in preparation for flying. And eventually, they fly when it becomes too unbearable to stay in the nest, meaning leave your comfort zone. There is no growth there. Last but not least, number 7, eagles possess vitality. When the eagle grows old, his
Sorry.
looking for new in the nest so that the young ones get uncomfortable in preparation for flying. And eventually, they fly when it becomes too unbearable to stay in the nest, meaning leave your comfort zone. There is no growth there. Last but not least, number 7, eagles possess vitality. When the eagle grows old, his feathers become weak and cannot take him as fast and as high as it should. This makes him weak and could make him die, so he retires to a place far away in the mountains. And while there, he plucks out the weak feathers in his body and breaks his beak and his claws against the rocks until he is completely bare. A very bloody and painful process. Then he stays in his hiding place until he has grown new feathers, new beaks and claws, and then comes out flying higher than ever before. Meaning, we occasionally need to shed off old habits, no matter how difficult. Things that burden us or add no value to our lives should be let go of. Thanks for watching this video. Share and subscribe for more amazing inspiration.
Okay, thank you. Ready to fly high like eagles with me over the next maybe about 2 hours? Okay, so our learning outcomes today is to define key terms related to the use of generative AI, craft effective prompts for enhancing teaching and learning experience, integrate generative AI tools into model curriculum and course design, formulate strategies using generative AI to boost student engagement, employ generative AI for both basic and advanced research and data analysis tasks, design innovative assessment methods and feedback system with the assistance of generative AI, leverage generative AI insights for strategic academic leadership. Last but not least, to recognize the ethical consideration associated with using AI tools like generative AI in academic setting. This is the topics. Inshallah, we will cover all of it by introduction, then crafting prompts for effective engagement, generative AI in curriculum design, boosting student engagement with AI, research and data analysis enhancement using generative AI, innovative assessment and feedback mechanism, strategic academic leadership with AI, navigative navigating generative AI platform, ethics in using AI in academia. Actually, as I mentioned earlier, we go through crafting effective prompts. Then by this way, we can go to all the area of medical education and apply what we learn from effective prompts to all field of medical education. In this introduction, let us start by this webinar today, and this is the first webinar for this year for the ESME, which is related to an important topics related to AI. Actually, over the last maybe 6 months here in King Abdulaziz University and in Egypt and on all Arab country and of course in all over the world, a lot of webinars, workshop related to generative AI and its use application, like this ethical use of ChatGPT for research and data analysis. This is ChatGPT 4 here in Saudi Arabia in June, Nuxera Summit for Artificial Intelligence, SADAيا, which is the Saudi Data and AI Authority, conduct many workshops in King Abdulaziz University. We have Muqarrar Zaka, which is artificial intelligence for all undergraduate program. A lot of workshop and webinar, which means that here in Egypt, in Abdurrahman bin Faisal University, in Egypt is Delta University, in Cairo University, Ain Shams, a lot of activity, which alhamdulillah, it is coping with this era and try to train and help our faculty member to acquire all related skills and competencies related to artificial intelligence. As personal level, last April, I finished a certificate from MIT about data science and machine learning, making data-driven decision. This is a virtual medical academy in Saudi Arabia, also another important webinar about AI. In Emirates, they produce a nice guidelines about 100 practical applications and use case of generative AI. And if you scan this code, you will get the full text of this guide. It's a nice guide and mainly focus on ChatGPT. So let us start by some important definition. What is generative AI? It is a form of artificial intelligence that create new content by looking at pattern. The pattern, it is what we write in the prompt, and the structure in the sample data. Actually, we have two categories of generative AI. One category which create text like ChatGPT, Bard, and Bing, and another category which generate image. The most common of them are Midjourney and DALL-E 3. So this is generative AI. Large language model is the model used for generation of text or image. So it is the model that can efficiently understand, summarize, generate, and predict the text. And the most one is common is the ChatGPT for text. It takes a prompt and use it through certain algorithm, through this and mixing the word, and by the end it comes with text based on what he understands from our prompt. So this is the large language model. Prompt, which is our topic today, a phrase or sentence used to initiate a conversation with large language models. The prompt is like the keyword in Google search, but it is in the form of phrase or sentence. Prompt engineering is the process of crafting or improving the quality of output based on better prompt. So this is now, it is like a science or a special skills or competence related to everyone working or using artificial intelligence. So this is just a simple word or term we must know before start to use generative AI. So you have generative AI, large language model, prompt, and the prompt engineering. This is the big picture. We have artificial intelligence, which is a machine that mimics human intelligence and behavior. They mimics human intelligence in what? In cognitive, as all of you know Bloom's taxonomy, in recall, understanding, applying, synthesize, creating, evaluation. So is as a cognitive. Also, it see, hear, smell, speak, so it is also special sense, and psychomotor. And we see this in the robot, the automated car, monorail. So this is artificial intelligence. One important set from artificial intelligence is the machine learning. By its name, machine learning, so we learn the machine. How we learn teach the machine? By giving it a large amount of data, work through it through algorithm, and creating certain model through which the machine could generate text or image. Subset of the machine learning is the deep learning, which is which takes the idea from a neuroscience, which is network with communication through neurotransmitter or cytokines or electric impulse. So it is like in its design. ChatGPT is a collection of all of this, a state-of-the-art deep learning-based chat. So we chat through it, but it is like robot, but it is through chatting. Generative AI, so it is GPT, so it is deep learning chatbot using ChatGPT and transformer-based architecture. So it is chat, but using the model GPT. G, generative because it generates text. B, because it is based on a pre-trained machine learning. Transformer, because it uses a transformer model. So this is GPT, which is the model upon which ChatGPT is work. Again, we have two categories of generative AI. The text generative, which use the model large language model like ChatGPT, like Bard from Google, and Bing from Microsoft. Another category, which is the image generative AI, which use another model, which is generative adversarial network, GANs, which generate image. Tell me, be 2 weeks or months maximum, there was complete separation between text generative AI and image generative. Now they are integrated. So by the way, through Bing and through ChatGPT, we could create image with good quality. I couldn't say with the best quality, but I think over the the next few weeks or months, we will have the quality that we need from using both together, mixing both image and text generation. I like this slide and intend to develop it to know different chatbot available for us. This is because, for example, in Egypt, till now, ChatGPT is banned, but we have alternative. From my humble opinion and little experience about this, if you don't have ChatGPT in your country, or even you, when we don't want to pay for GPT-4, Bing ChatGPT, which is from Microsoft, is to a great extent like it, but to some shortage. While Bard, I think Bard from Google is the third one as the quality. This is because the language model in ChatGPT-4 and the Bing is the same, GPT-4. So they use the same model. While Bard lose LAMGA from Google, which I think it is not powerful like them. ChatGPT-4 can access external formation through plugin. Plugin is like extension in Chrome, which gives ChatGPT more capabilities and the abilities to navigate or browse the internet. Bard, it is related to Google, so it contain or have all the option from Google. Bing chatbot, it is extended through Bing search, and all of us know Bing search and Bing browser. Integration with our platform, GPT is through plugin. It is connected to a lot of application, which is like drawing, writing your CV, bibliographic, a lot, I think more than 100 plugin in ChatGPT, especially for Bard. It is connected to Google application like Gmail, Map. Bing is related to Bing search engine. GPT-4 released in March this year. Bard also in this year it was released. I'm not sure about when Bing was released, but also the last version was this year. ChatGPT could generate text, image, video, everything you read from it, it could generate. Bard, it is as I mentioned, it is limited, especially for the image. Bing, it has a conversational AI, including the voice recognition and the speech, and the information retrieval because it is connected to the internet. ChatGPT, one of its characteristics, it is the continuous update. Google, or Bard, it is related to the ecosystem of Google. Any update in Google will be reflected in Bard, and the same for Bing ChatGPT. The last but not least is related to the plugin. Again, it is يعني if you go to ChatGPT today, maybe tomorrow you will find more and more plugin which give it more capability and usability. But by the way, يعني inshallah, for today, almost all what we do, you can use ChatGPT for it, and also Bing. It will retrieve similar to some extent information. What ChatGPT provide for us? Bing browse, image analysis, which is one of the powerful characteristic or powerful facilities in it, capability in advanced data analytics, plug-in boosting ChatGPT natural abilities, DALL-E 3, which is related to image creation, a specific tool which is present only in a mobile application like voice recognition. So this is related to different chatbot available for us. We have again 3: ChatGPT, Bard, and Bing. Those are the 3 common or used chatbot for today, for generative or text generative AI. But before we start, I'll ask myself and you this question: is it safe to use ChatGPT? So let us start. If your answer about does it matter if the output is true, the information you will give, no matter true or false, it is not matter to me. So if it is no, so I'll tell you it is safe to use a ChatGPT or any chatbot. If it is matter to you, so do you have the expertise to verify that this output is accurate? If no, so it is unsafe to use ChatGPT. If yes, another question: are you able and willing to take full responsibility, legal, moral, for missed inaccuracy? If no, so it is unsafe to use ChatGPT. If yes, it is not to go and safe. It is only possible to use ChatGPT. So please remember this infogram, which comes from UNESCO Quick Start, which released in April this year, 2023. So it is a mistake to be relying on ChatGPT for anything important right now. You need to verify every word or any information come from it, especially for us in medical education or in health services. Let us go to our today, the code prompt. We agree that the prompt is the phrase or sentence which we write to retrieve or to generate text or image from generative AI application. There is certain criteria for good prompts. Clarity. Your prompt should be as clear and concise as possible. Once it is clear, the generated text or image will be clear and concise. Also, it must be specific. The more specific your prompt, the better. If your prompt is vague or ambiguous, also the text will be vague or ambiguous. Context. I like this criteria because if you give or write in your prompt the context, so I usually write just write act in the role of, or I am a professor of clinical biochemistry and medical education. I'd like to develop medical, for example, medical education master program in Suez Canal University, for example. The target audience will be all health care professional. So I give it all the context for my prompts. For example, if I ask ChatGPT, give me some information about COVID-19, and expect me like a 5. I'm 5 years. So it will give you information which is suited for a 5 years child. If you tell it that give me the information as a medical student, it will be different. As a consultant in infectious disease, it will be different. So the context is crucial for the data we will get from any chatbot. The fourth is command structure. It is like the learning outcomes. Write an action verb like translate the following text, summarize the key point, list, enumerate. Based on this command, the generated text will be the same. Also the tone. If you need the tone to be formal, official, humorous, friendly, whatever, also the generated text will be the same. Yesterday, I asked one of the application to generate a video about medical education, and I find in the setting, you need this video to be for the YouTube or LinkedIn. I guess that there is no difference. When I wrote YouTube, it gave me information and the content of the video, which is totally different from that of LinkedIn. When I wrote LinkedIn, the video became more professional than of YouTube. Also the length. If you ask ChatGPT or any chatbot that I need the length of 300 words or 2 paragraphs or 2 lines or like Twitter format, it will retrieve the same. I like also iterative refinement. Work with ChatGPT or any chatbot like a friend. Ask a question, then iterate the result and ask again and again till you get the information like you want. So don't accept the first output or text you got from ChatGPT, but repeat the process many times till you are satisfied and happy with the generated text or image. Avoiding bias. This is because sometimes write it clearly. Give me a neutral opinion or a neutral text about. Because already ChatGPT has a bias. Bias related to the data, because most of the data come from example from United States or from Europe countries. So the data is related to the culture. So it has a bias related to the source of the data it has, and also it has a bias as regarding gender. Because they claim that most people working in AI are male. So ChatGPT has a bias to male. So from start, avoid to also to be biased. So this is the criteria for effective prompts. Let us go to 10+1 tips for perfect prompting. The more specific, as we mentioned, your prompt, the more accurate the response is likely to be. Example, less specific, tell me about the heart disease. More specific, what are the most common risk factors for coronary artery heart disease? This is the number 2. Describe your setting and provide the context as you mentioned. Example, I am writing an article about the tips and the tricks for ChatGPT prompt engineering for people whom those people working the healthcare. Can you please list a few of those tips and the tricks with some specific prompt example? So here it is. The context is clear to whom you need this prompt. Experiment with different prompt style, like direct question, what are the symptoms of COVID-19? Or request for list all the potential symptoms of COVID-19. Or request for a summary, summarize the key symptoms and the progression of COVID-19. Expression, explain the symptoms of COVID-19 like I am 5. So it is the same topic, but different format and different example give you totally different text or different output from a chatbot. The fourth, identify the overall goal of your prompt first. What do you need? I'd like to get a short list of 5 ideas for YouTube video on the future of healthcare AI. So we give the overall goal of your prompt. Fifth, ask ChatGPT to play roles, which I like this also. Act as a data scientist and explain prompt engineering to a physician. Iterate and refine your question and ask ChatGPT to modify the output based on its previous response. It is like a thread. In the first one, it gives you certain outputs, but you are not satisfied or need more information about it, so you re-ask it about based on the previous response. Initial prompt, how are you feeling today? Refine the prompt on a scale of 1 to 10. How would you rate your stress level today, and how has your specific event contributed to it? And you can go more and more in your questions based on the response you got from ChatGPT. Use threads, as you mentioned, you can easily go back to a specific discussion by clicking on the proper thread in the left column. This is one of the good in ChatGPT, which is not clear in Bard and Bing like it. All your previous history will be on the left side, as we see just maybe after couples of slides. By this way, you don't have to start all over again, but can just continue a discussion you already had with ChatGPT. Even if it is from few months, you can return back to it and continue your discussion with it instead of start from the first question. Ask open-ended question. I know all of you more expert more than me about the importance of open-ended questions in comparison to the closed question, because it shared more comprehensive response. Closed question is exercise important for patient with osteoporosis. How does the open question, how does regular physical activity benefit patient with osteoporosis? The 10th one, request a specific example. If you are asking about a process or timeline, specify that in your prompt. And sometimes if you need from ChatGPT to give you, for example, certain recommendation, you can give it 1 or 2 recommendation and ask it to continue with the same manner or the same example you give to it. +1, +10, set realistic expectation. This is because, for example, if you use ChatGPT 3.5, it is limited to January 2022. So it is difficult. It will oblige to you if you ask it to give you information about research which conducted in 2023. So the unrealistic, what the latest research published this month about Alzheimer's. It will tell you that I am sorry because my database, if you use 3.5, because my database is limited to January 2022. Realistic prompt, what were some of the major research breakthrough in Alzheimer's treatment up until 2022? This is just about realistic expectation. To summarize the main criteria and tips for perfect prompts: use simple, clear, and straightforward language that can be easily understood, avoiding complex or ambiguous wording. Include examples to illustrate the desired response or format of generated compilations. Include context, which is crucial for generating relevant and meaningful compilations. Refine and iterate as necessary, experimenting with different variations. Be ethical, avoiding prompts that may generate inappropriate, biased, or harmful content. So this is just the start, but this is the key skills and the cornerstone for using any chatbot. It is about crafting the prompt, because what inshallah will come in this session, it is based on this. If you wanted to use ChatGPT for research, for teaching, for learning, for empowering leadership, for research, for data analysis, you need to master the skills of crafting or prompt engineering. And this, inshallah, I will share with the Dr. Hala and will be sent to you through email. It is like a cheat sheet about effective prompting, and this is also the same. I just stop here about certain criteria, which is the moods and the rules, the format, tones, which is also essential in any prompt. By the way, this is two photo which is generated by ChatGPT, and ChatGPT with another capability, because we agree that ChatGPT itself, it generates text, but ChatGPT plus DALL-E 3 will generate image and text by the same way. give it a specific, clear, concise, context prompt, it will create image like this. I ask here to, I think, something about database or something about people trained on computer and using something like this. Here I asked the ChatGPT, I need the mobile application of ChatGPT and its capability. So it is a mobile, and this girl and boy is working through the mobile through ChatGPT. Something like this, and inshallah I'll show you some of the image which were created by ChatGPT and DALL-E 3. This is the UNESCO guide, which released in April, and this is also this is the barcode. If you scan it, you will inshallah get the full text of this guideline. You can scan it. Also, this is another guide, which is a artificial intelligence toolkit for educator. Also, this is barcode for the guideline or the toolkit. The third one is this guidance for generative AI in education and research, which released last September. Okay, so this was the first part of this session. If any question related to prompting, we please write in the chat box or in the question and answer, and we will inshallah answer it by the end of this webinar. Let us go to our main business today, or the ready written prompts for different areas of medical education. And all of the next slides, it will be demonstration and the hands-on. You can use these prompts through ChatGPT, or my suggestion, or through Bing if you didn't have a ChatGPT in your country. Inshallah, also this presentation will be sent to you, so you can just copy the prompt and use it in your chatbot. So let us start by prompts for enhancing teaching and learning. And I start by course design. However, it could be in the curriculum design, but because I built all the activity on the first prompt. So this is the prompt. Consider course design, considering the need for adaptability in today's rapidly changing educational landscape. How can I design a course that both flexible and robust in its learning outcomes? If I need a prompt related to incorporate technology, what are the most effective ways to integrate modern technology into traditional classroom setting to enhance student engagement and comprehension? Assessment strategies is general, cover many areas in teaching and learning. Given the diversity of learning style among students, what are the best practice for creating a comprehensive assessment strategy that caters to varied needs? Active learning, how can I effectively implement active learning techniques in large lecture classes to ensure each student is actively participating and understanding the content? Student motivation, what evidence-based strategies can I employ to increase intrinsic motivation among students, especially in subjects they might initially find challenges or uninterested? So as you see here, the prompt is specific with the context clear, so it will retrieve a clear and specific outputs. Let us take the first one, this copy, and go to our friend, which is ChatGPT. This is the screen of ChatGPT. For if it is your first time to use it, you need to register here. It will need your email, mobile phone, and you will register. And if you want to pay the $20 for monthly subscription, you will find here an icon for upgrade. After this, you can log in and start to use. This is the GPT 3.5, which is the free version. In GPT 4 is the difference. We have the default. It is like to some extent GPT 3.5, except for you can upload image. Advanced data analysis we use is today plugin which contain a lot of plugin you can use it, and DALL-E 3 which is related to image. Let us go to the default, for example, here, and put the prompts. Considering the need for adaptability in today's rapidly changing educational landscape, how can I design, let's say بقى, a medical, because I know all of us interested in medical education. Education master program that both flexible and robust in its learning outcomes, and ask it to go. And based on this, we can continue, as we mentioned, iterate and refine, and iterate and refine. So designing a medical education master program that is both flexible and need what? Need to be competency-based curriculum with the explanation, modular course design, break down the curriculum into modular units, allow blended learning with explanation, what we mean by blended learning, self-paced learning. So this is how to design a master program in medical education, flexible and robust in learning outcomes. Continuous assessment, collaborate with other departments of our course, provide broader perspectives such as bioethics, health economics, or medical technology, flexible entry and exit point, lifelong learning, technology, mashallah, yani, a lot of criteria to use the learning management system. I will ask it, could you apply these tips and give me the outlines of this program? So I'll ask it to give me the outlines of this master program. This is the core competencies. And we can refine, iterate. So because here it mentions this as like a program in for medical students. So I tell it that I need it to be directed to faculty member and to improve their skills in teaching, learning, etc. The program is for health professional, educator, or faculty member. By the way, if there is any error in the spelling, it will deal with it. So I like courses to develop their skills in teaching, learning, assessment, curriculum design. A lot of error. Totally different from that before. Curriculum design and implementation, assessment strategies, research in medical ethical consideration. If I find here, teaching and learning series, instructional design in health education, effective elective modules, diversity, equity, blended learning. It applies all the tips it mentioned here. Okay. If I want to, in this program, what are the most effective ways to integrate modern technology into traditional? I'll ask here for this program and give it the prompts. And I'll ask it to let us go to okay, no, reload.
الزوم disconnected ولا ايه؟
دكتور
دكتور محمد
حسن.
طيب دكتور محمد
I think we lost him. I'm sure he will come back soon.
اوكي ان شاء الله.
By the way, this is Wagdi Talat. I will take these few moments to welcome all of you again to this webinar, which attracted a lot of participants from all over the world, from the East, in Pakistan and India, to the West, to Peru. We have a participant from Latin America. Actually, this webinar is very interesting to all of us. While waiting for Dr. Muhammad Hassanin to come back to us, I think we should have a little break after 1 hour for 5 minutes and be prepared with all the questions in our mind to ask Dr. Muhammad Hassanin when he comes back. What do you think about that? You can now unmute yourself or to raise your hand if you want to interact to what I just said.
I'm so sorry, I lost the connection, but alhamdulillah.
That's all right.
That's all right.
That's all right, Dr. Muhammad. And I was just telling them if we can change the mood a little bit from one-sided lecture to allowing our participant to ask a few questions about the first part of your interesting lecture. And then you can come back to continue your lecture. This is one thing that I suggested. The other thing, I noticed that the word prompt has been said so many times. It's a keyword in AI and in ChatGPT. So I think they need to know exactly the meaning of the word prompt. And also to listen to the right pronouncing of the word prompt. See how I pronounce it? Prompt. And the meaning includes inputs and inquiries and queries. So because this word is repeated so many times, and we need very much to know how we can use it in the context of AI. So if you just open the floor and allow for a few questions and your kind answers, and then you can go on if we will not take a break between your first part of the talk and the second part.
Okay, sure, Prof. Well, thank you for these questions. And I'll be happy to have more questions from participants. But let us start by those important questions from you, Prof. Wagdi. Let us start by prompt. And please correct me if I
Yes.
pronounce it correct or not, please.
Because it would confuse some
we
of
learned
them.
from you
Yeah,
English
yeah.
and how to pronounce word correctly. So please correct me myself. Prompt. It is okay?
Prompt.
No, actually, the last 4 letters are silent. Prompt.
Prompt. Okay. So
Yeah.
if one thing I Prof. Wagdi as usual.
We all
today.
learn from each other.
Prompt.
No problem.
Okay, thank you. So the prompt, and please every time correct me, Prof. Wagdi, please. Prompt is
You know what? You put E between the M and T. You
Okay.
pronounce it as prompt, but
Prompt.
it's prompt.
So the B is silent. Prompt.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
The 4 letters are silent. Prompt.
Okay. Thank you, Prof.
You're
Wagdi.
welcome.
So prompt is as mentioned by Prof. Wagdi is the keyword. Like the keyword we use in Google search. So it is like the phrase or sentence or instruction or command that we wrote in the chat box to retrieve the output. So what the output is generated text from any chatbot, from ChatGPT, from Bing, from Bard. So this is the output.
Is it the output or the input? I think it's the input. The input and inquiries. This is the exact meaning of because I really Googled it. And the meaning is inputs and
Inquiries.
queries. Yeah. This is the exact meaning of prompt.
So if you Google it and you have more information, Prof. Wagdi, please
that's all right.
as you mentioned, interactive and give us, because for me, input and the inquiry is the prompt is both. Is your inquiry, you write it in the form of prompt. The input is your is prompt, while the output is what it will be retrieved from a chatbot like text or image. If you agree with me about this, so let us make this is our agreement about the terminology, because I'd like to thank you, Prof. Wagdi, because to agree, like medical education, to agree about terminology and we speak the same language in AI, it is crucial, like we did before in medical education, curriculum, objective learning outcomes, it is the same. So when we will with the same language with the key term, it is important, and thank you for raising this.
You know, Dr. Muhammad, I learned something from medical education, because sometimes people say that medical education is a scientific branch which is very difficult. They say it's difficult because we use jargons a lot. And to avoid the confusion within the learner side, we should explain any word that we expect that it would be difficult for them. And the prompt, very obviously, it's one of the jargons of AI. and you used it a lot during this
The webinar is about prompt engineering.
Yeah,
So
that's
every
why.
time I'll say prompt.
That's why I tried to explain to our participants the exact meaning of this word.
Sure, thank you, Prof.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any more questions?
Dr. Muhammad,
Yeah.
sorry, Dr. Muhammad, can you share the screen because you are not sharing your screen?
Because this is my next inquiry. I need to be
Okay.
to share the screen.
Okay. Why you
Yeah.
didn't? Okay.
Because
Okay.
when I lost connectivity and because my
In
charger.
Saudi Arabia, you lost your connectivity.
Well, actually, this is my mistake because the charger is not well connected. It is not from
That's
the
all right.
internet. Yani,
That's all right.
to be fair about the internet, it is from my side.
I just wonder if you will allow for a few questions before
Sure.
you go on.
And I want you to allow me for more 15 minutes after the time of the webinar. If you agree,
Of course we will. But I would like very much to open the floor for some questions from.
And it's time, Prof. Wagdi, to make like a partition between the theoretical and this demonstration.
Yes, and also because 1 hour have already passed. And just we need very much to change the mood a little bit and allow our participants to ask questions, and then you can go on and continue your very nice and very useful lecture.
Almost welcome to
Okay, who will help us with the raise the hands now? Dr. Hala, could you help us?
Yeah, sure. I will
with this?
hear the questions. Yeah, Dr. Mona, sorry.
Would you please raise your hands?
Dr. Mona Abu Said. Okay. Dr. Mona Abu Saud, she's asking, nowadays everybody is talking about cloud. Can you please tell us more about it if possible?
Well, actually, to be honest, Dr. Mona, I didn't know, to be honest, anything about Kuloda. So, as I always mentioned, it is a learning curve to all of us. So I'll go after this session to go to Claude and search about it because actually I don't know. I don't know like many of us or anyone. But if you have something to tell us about Claude, okay, it would be great to hear from you.
Can we ask the other participants? Probably someone in our participants can answer Dr. Mona's question.
If anyone know, because actually I don't know anything about the Kuloda.
And please use the raised hand in case you want to react to anything that we are discussing now.
Yeah, any question, just raise your hand, okay?
Yes, any clarification, something is not clear, something to be clarified more, or even any criticism or feedback, just in the midway feedback, formative feedback to improve the next part of this webinar.
I think all are satisfied till now, Dr. Muhammad. You can go on.
Okay, thank you.
And we will postpone any question to the end of the session. Never mind, inshallah.
Okay.
Dr. Muhammad. Share your screen, huh?
Yeah, I'm ready now to share it. You gave me the permission to share the screen.
No.
But before, again, it is prompt. Okay, so I'm now pronouncing it correct, Prof. Okay, so we develop a medical education program and ask the ChatGPT to give us its outline to be flexible as we mentioned. And I ask here because let us go to the in ChatGPT 4 to another version of it, which is default, because this advanced, which is advanced data analysis, because the default has a good option, which is analyzing image. But when we use it, it considered any copied text like an image. So it takes sometimes to retrieve the output. So let us go again here to the, okay, open again the,
Analysis.
okay. We will go to analysis now, Dr. Hala, but let us go step by step. In the course design, it will design the medical education course, considering that I design a medical health profession, education, master program. Okay. It will take shorter time than if I use the default one. It usually gives us an introduction about the topic, and then go to the courses. Here, core courses, research methodology, educational therapy, enzyme assessment strategies, technology in education, flexible curriculum design, modular structure. This is to apply the tips it mentioned just before I lost connectivity. Capstones or thesis elective. So this is the first one. Let us go to, for example, given the diversity of learning styles among students, what are the best practices for creating a comprehensive assessment strategy that caters to varied needs in this program? I just add this. I'll ask here to stop generation and ask it to about assessment in this program. Okay. And again, we can iterate and refine. Reiterate and refine about the output diverse assessment. I can take this formative assessment, formative, summative, performance-based assessment, portfolio assessment, incorporate self and peer assessment, So I can take this performance-based assessment, this here, control feedback mechanism, flexible assessment option, and I'll ask it, give me more details about this performance-based assessment. For each category or search area, we can do the same. When I got certain information from it, I can expand it, or the opposite. I can summarize it, ask it to make it brief or summarize it, whatever I need. Characteristic of performance assessment, authenticity, complexity. With example, I can take this clinical simulation and ask it, I'd like to apply this. I'd like to apply. Control V. In this program. Stop here and ask it to apply clinical simulation in the assessment. So it gave me how to apply clinical simulation in this master program. What I need: infrastructure and the resources, simulation labs, establish dedicated labs equipped with high fidelity mannequins, standardized patient, technology, trained personnel, step by step how to establish the clinical simulation as an assessment tool in this program. Integration into curriculum, pre-simulation learning. So it gave me the ideal criteria. But I need also, as expert, to verify this information before applying it. So this is exact for assessment. Let us go to another prompt. Active learning. How can I effectively implement active learning techniques in large lecture class to ensure each student is actively participating and understanding the content? Also, in this program. So this is about interactive teaching, for example. You can take again clinical simulation. Okay. Control C. How I stop here. I can in this program. Again, introduction. Take the floor, Prof. Wagd. You can interrupt me at any time. Please, Dr. Wagd.
Thank you. It's because your lecture is very interesting. That's why I have a question now in my mind.
Sure.
Can AI or ChatGPT provide us with some techniques that we can use in the clinical skill lab or in the assessment of clinical skills like simulation or things like that, or just text, provide us with some text, that's all, or videos, or audiovisual material? Can ChatGPT provide us with some simulations that we can use?
So let us together, Prof. Wagdi, craft the prompt for this. Give me some techniques. Please give me the prompt or the instruction you need exactly. Give me some techniques to be used or whatever you want, and let us try it together.
Okay. Let's do it together now in front of the other participants.
Yeah. Tell me, Prof.
You start the sentence, and I will feed you.
Give me some techniques to be used for what?
For assessment of clinical skills, we need simulation to be used in assessment of clinical skills.
Here we need to put the context. Assessment of clinical skills for whom? For first year students,
for undergraduate students in health professions education.
For undergraduate
students in health professions education.
So we can edit the prompt and add, and as we mentioned before, edit and refine and edit and refine. Okay, and save and submit. So let us see what is the output.
Okay.
It starts by the OSCEs and description of OSCE. By the way, Prof. Wagdi, we can here take OSCE and ask it to develop a station for assessment of certain skills and ask it to put the instruction for the assessor, for the student, and the checklist to be used for certain skills or certain outcomes, and it will write it. And the same here for DOPS. We will ask it to develop a DOPS for assessing, for example, lumbar puncture, and ask it to develop the checklist, the criteria for feedback, the same for standardized patient encounters, virtual reality. For each one, we can take it and ask it to give us more details or how to practice or apply it in a real time in or
But,
real world.
Can AI provide us with virtual reality as well?
Let us put here virtual
Because it's now in the form of a text, but can he create virtual reality settings that we can use in our teaching and in our exams as
Okay.
well?
Let us take this a virtual reality to
Yeah.
be used.
Yeah,
And-
you can put it in our inputs, in our prompts
Yes.
as well.
This is what I put.
So-
This is the promise.
Very good.
Once you create
Yeah.
a virtual reality and augmented reality simulation, we can delete this. No,
Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
delete all of this to be used in our exam again for undergraduates. Okay. We agree that it will know my intention, so no problem if I have some typo for undergraduate health profession student. Okay.
Right.
I can create the actual virtual reality, augmented reality simulation as this required specialized software, hardware, and development skills. I can certainly provide you with a detailed blueprint for how such simulation could be structured and implemented in your exam. Here, a conceptual outlines. Objective, platform selection, VR, a fully immersive environment where students wear VR headsets and possibly gloves to interact, suitable for situation where you want to assist the student full immersion in clinical scenario. Augmented reality, scenario design, I think this is what you need, Prof. Wagdi. Patient consultation scenario, setting, task, interaction, the virtual patient responds to student question, provide symptoms and react to physical. Here, I can take this, Prof. Wagdi. Could you give me the scenario
With some audiovisual material.
with,
With some audiovisual material.
okay, some audio. Okay, stop here and let us ask it to do this.
See, this
I
is
am
what I
again
expected.
here.
This is what I expected.
Okay,
It's just limited to text and some videos, but the audiovisual material that we use sometimes.
sorry, Prof. Wagdi, what do you mean
Yeah.
by audiovisual material? You need image, for example?
Yeah, imaging and moving things like three-dimensional things that we sometimes use in virtual reality and such things, you know.
طيب اوكي طب بروف وجدي
Such things which we have to pay for, you know. I thought I can get it from here for free, but obviously it's a limitation to ChatGPT.
Okay. طب بروف وجدي so I need now 30 minutes, not 15 minutes extra for the webinar to try this with you. So we can take.
It depends on our participants. If they can write in the chat if they are ready to extend the webinar
30
for
minutes.
15 or 30 minutes or
And
more.
this is the last extension. I will not ask you for more extensions than this.
I stop my interference here, but
no, Prof. Wagdi,
I can
I am
see
happy
a question from Dr. Ali.
All of us learning with you. So no, and I think our we of course ready. Inshallah, خلاص. We take and Dr. Ali. I'm not sure, Dr. Ali, raise your hand to ask or to agree. So let us try this before we will proceed in the session. Let us try, Prof. Wagdi, this GPT-4 facility to produce image. I'm not sure.
Okay.
produce or not. So I'll
Okay.
put I use GPT with DAL E3, which create image, and put this prompt. Could you create a virtual reality and augmented reality simulation? Could you give me example for what audiovisual, Prof. Wagdi?
For instance, we can choose a surgery, tracheostomy, for instance, tracheostomy operation.
For what, Prof. Wagdi? Bronchoscopy.
Tracheostomy or tracheotomy, according to
I'm sure
tracheotomy. Probably tracheostomy is right too. Yeah. Okay. Operation.
Okay, audiovisual. Okay. Dr. Ali, Turk, please tell well, I can't create actual video simulation.
السلام عليكم.
ورحمة الله وبركاته.
اهلا بروف وجدي وبروف محمد. بس هو حضرتك دكتور محمد، هو الدكتور وجدي يقصد ان عايز حاجه لايف او حاجه فيها اوديو فيجوال او حاجه فيها ايمج او اي حاجه او حاجه فيها موفي عشان تبقى سيميوليشن. حضرتك السؤال بتاع حضرتك نقدر ندخل بلاج ان زياده عشان نظهر الحاجه دي ما تبقاش في تكست بس، ولا ايه راي حضرتك؟
This is what I'm trying to do. ما هو I'll
Can you
take,
repeat? Can you repeat his question in English, please?
Yes, okay, sorry, Prof. Wagner. I am requesting Prof. Muhammad to add plug-in in order for your recommendation or to answer your question to be appear at in the form of a video, of an image, or something like this. So I recommend the plug-in to add plug-in to the ChatGPT in order to achieve this point.
Thank you, Prof. Ali. This is what I am doing now. I go to ChatGPT, DAL E3 to create the scenario about what Prof. Wagdi want about audiovisual. And it writes this scenario, visual reality simulation tracheostomy operation in a VR environment. Students will be immersed in a virtual operating room. They would wear VR goggles. This is the scene. The patient is lying supine on an operating table with surgical straps placed appropriately, exposing on the neck area. There are monitors displaying the patient vital signs, and this is the procedure. Let us take this, which is the scene that is Prof. Wagdi asked me about it, and I'll go and please bear with me, and I'll go to another option in ChatGPT, like mentioned by Prof. Ali, to the plug-in, and from plug-in, I have one plug-in to create a video, which is in video, which is this. It is already with me here, this. And I put this here. I need a video to demonstrate these steps. So I use here one of the plug-in, which is an add-on in ChatGPT to be used to create a video, which is video AI or InVideo. So it's just a trial. I'm not sure it will retrieve what needed by Prof. Wagdi, but it is a learning curve for all of us. If we failed to develop the video, but we have through this plugin to develop other educational video through the same way. I put the prompts related to the video I want, like that what I developed. Inshallah, I'll show you by the end of this webinar about video related to the use of AI in medical education. So this is a plug-in. We mean by plug-in that is an add-on or another application used by ChatGPT to create something which is not present in itself. So this is the title, tracheostomy description, and this is the video. Let us say what developed. So this is, we are only in the first item of using AI in medical education. It's about course design, assessment, different type of assessment. And by the way, we can use a prompt to ask ChatGPT to develop MCQs, modified essay, matching, archetypes, OSCE station, DOPS, mini clinical exam. All of this, we just give it a prompt or write a prompt that we need a 10 MCQs, and we describe it. A 10 MCQ for a 5th medical student in the internal medicine course to assess this learning outcomes or to assess these outcomes. Or even I can upload a file which contains my lectures, PowerPoint lecture, and ask it to develop a questions related to this topic or this chapter in the book. And I ask it to, I need the STEM in the form of case scenario, and I need 5 option and the explanation of the, and the read in the form of question, and to put the explanation of the correct answer. So this is the video. Hopefully it will satisfy us. Create a video demonstrating the steps of tracheostomy procedure. The scene is set in an operating room with a patient lying supine on an operating table. Surgical threads are placed appropriately, etc. So can we let it develop the video and return it, because
Of course,
it take some
To
minutes.
watch it later. Yeah.
Actually, if we wanted to create a video, it take days or maybe weeks, and we sit with the graphic designer and ask him to remove or to edit. So let us design, and will we go. So this is, for example, prompt for enhancing teaching and learning. Let us go to another area, which is prompts to enhancing assessment. Let us take one from each slide, and we can reiterate and refine, and as we do. Let us go to, for example, feedback mechanism. I'll take this. How can feedback be structured to be constructive, actionable, and motivating for a student in this program? Let us go to our program, which is the Master in Health Professional Education, which is here. Okay, it is. Okay, we here in, I think this. Okay, I returned back to the earlier chat to go to the same thread. So I ask here, how can feedback be structured, be constructive, actionable, and motivating for a student in this program? So it will give me information and tips relating to constructive feedback in this course. For feedback to be effective, it should be clear, relevant, timely, and framed in a way that promotes learning. And start with all of us, mashallah, know sandwich technique more than me. And I can ask here, are there any other technique rather sandwich approach? Be specified and actionable. Make it relevant. I need another model for constructive feedback. And I don't need this sandwich. Stop this. I use descriptive language, encourage self-assessment, promote growth mindset, offer opportunities for follow-up, be timely. All what we learned about constructive feedback is here. Okay, stop this. And I'll ask it to give me another model. Sure, or certainly, okay. Here, another model for providing constructive feedback as STAR, which is situation. Begin by describing a specific situation or context in which behavior or action, task, action. And by this way, we can learn, even to learn. If this is my first time to here about STAR model. So I'll ask it, give me more explanation or how to practically apply this model. So this is for feedback mechanism. If I want to use alternative assessment or digital assessment tool, so I'll ask it which digital tools provide the most effective and efficient means of assessing student performance in an online learning environment in this program. Let us stop here and ask this question. Which is the digital tools provided them in this program? Okay. Learning management system with the test platform like Quizlet, Kahoot, Socrative, interactive platform, Padlet, Nearpod. So I can take this, Kahoot. How can I use this also in this program? Stop this and go to another prompt. Give after this me some questions to be used in the course, in teaching and learning course. And set up account, create a quiz, customize game setting, to be used in a quiz related to, even it will develop certain question for the quiz. This is the all steps to use Kahoot, for example, if it's my first time to use it. So I'll ask it to give me some questions for a quiz to be used through Kahoot or Mentimeter like I did today. Here are some sample questions related to teaching and learning. It gives me multiple choice. Which of the following is a principle of adult learning? This is the question to be used, and this is the correct answer to it. If it gives me just 5 questions, I'll tell it I need 100 questions. It will retrieve or it will create what we need, and we can ask it. And this is the same for any MCQ. Make them more cognitive. Because we didn't write this in the prompt that we need it cognitive, need it in the form of case, whatever, case scenario, whatever we need, we can do. Stop generation and go to this. So this is related to, it will make it more cognitive. So this is prompt for enhancing assessment. Let us to go prompt for curriculum and course design. We use it. But if you need to make it interdisciplinary, for example, what strategies can be employed to design this curriculum that bridges various disciplines, offering the student holistic understanding? I'll take this for example for the same program. Okay, it makes them now more cognitive. Which strategy best align with constructive, constructivist approach to teaching? Here, multiple choice, another one, which is the following assessment types primarily measure student ability to apply and analyze information. Fill in the blank, multiple choice. In the context of problem-based learning, what is the primary rules of the instructor? Okay, let us stop here and ask it, what strategies can be employed to design a curriculum that bridge various disciplines, offering students in this program? I want to see what about the video. Where is the video? It's not this. this. Why? Sorry, I come back because I am curious that is the video is already developed or not. Okay. Okay, let us continue and come back to the video. Okay, so this here is the so this is when I asked it to what? Okay, how to make the curriculum bridge various discipline offer interdisciplinary themes, project-based learning, collaborative teaching, case studies, field tips and guest speaker, flexible scheduling, integrated assessment. Could you apply those tips in the Master of Health Education program? Of course. Absolutely. It answered, but I can argue with it. It is a multidisciplinary public health, psychology, education. I can tell him that no, I need the certain department. What is its role in this course, for example? Interdisciplinary themes, choose themes like health equity, project-based learning, student code design, community health intervention, collaborative teaching, case studies, analyze real-world public health. But I mentioned I'll tell it I need it to be closely related to teaching and the learning assessment, whatever I want. So I have another prompt for curriculum course design, like creating to diverse need. How can course content to be tailored to cater both advanced students and those who might need additional support? Balancing theory and practice, this is the prompt. How can a course be structured to offer balanced mix of theoretical knowledge and practical hands-on experience? Continuous improvement, what mechanism can be implemented to continuously gather feedback in the group? So all of these are prompts related to curriculum and to course design. Let us go to prompts for enhancing student engagement, like active participation, real-world application, collaborative learning, gamification, feedback, and recognition. How can, let us take this, how can gamification, let us say, take anyone. How can gamification principle be integrated in the learning process to make lessons more interactive and motivating? But I think it is difficult to our course. Let us take this real-world application. How can courses content be linked to real-world application and scenarios, making it more relevant, engaging to students in this program? To copy this prompt and go here in this program. Okay. Link course content to real world, يبقى case studies, it give me use current and historical public health challenge. I'll tell her I need emphasis on health profession education topic. Stop here and regenerate. So now it understands that I need health professional education. Clinical rotation and practicums incorporate hands-on clinical rotation for students, allows them to directly apply theoretical knowledge in their healthcare setting. Case-based learning, use real patient case to guide instruction. Interprofessional education, have students from various health, discipline, medicine, learn together. It's sometimes I prefer to go step by step. Give me the outline of the program, then give me a suggestion for the courses. For each course, give me its learning outcomes. For each course, give me the assessment method. Then for the teaching strategies, the reference, the benchmark. So I can go, but because this session is not only related to course design, I pick from each category 1 or 2 elements. But if we focus on course design, we can start by the outline of the program, its courses, it's the BLOs, the courses, it's CLOs or summary for each course, assessment method, it's a credit hour, the topic to be covered. I can select certain topic or certain course, give me the full content of it, give me a PowerPoint presentation for certain topic or certain course or certain lecture in this course, give me the assessment, give me questions, give me the method for evaluating this course. So if we are speaking about course design, we can go step by step in one thread. I can inshallah show you something like this. So this is related to student engagement. If we go to prompt for curriculum evaluation, so I'll ask it, what are the key criteria that should be considered when evaluating the effectiveness and the relevance of this curriculum or this course? So I ask, is this if I am speaking about or asking about curriculum evaluation? So here, what are the keys that should be considered when evaluating the current curriculum of the master program of health professional education. So this is about course or program evaluation. When evaluating the effectiveness and the relevance of a master program in health professional education, it's crucial to consider a blend of content relevance, pedagogical approach, and outcomes. Here are some key criteria to keep in mind. Content relevance, up-to-date materials, interdisciplinary approach, ethical and cultural consideration, pedagogical approach, active learning strategies. Could you develop a survey for student satisfaction about learning environment in this program? I go deeply in the program evaluation. Stop here and ask it for this. And I can also give it the context. I need the survey with Likert scales, 5 point, whatever I want. I need, I think he heard me. It used the Likert scales, and this is the question, and I can correct it. By the way, I can copy this information and I'll show you a nice way I just discovered it maybe 3 or 4 days ago. Okay, let us here, I'll ask it, which is a smart way. I was happy to learn it. This is I can ask it, I need 10 questions, 20, whatever. But instead of copy it, please, I need it in as a Word file. As a Word file, Word document file. Instead of taking it in the form of copy and paste, it will develop a Word file for it, which is brand new option in ChatGPT. Okay, I need I need award document file. Document. Okay. Because I think I use the wrong ChatGPT version. I need to use, and inshallah I'll show it. I need to use that of advanced data analytics. It is the one which develops the files. Sorry, yani, but inshallah I'll show it. Inshallah to you. Okay, let us go to another. This is another prompt for curriculum evaluation. Stakeholder fatigue. How can feedback from various stakeholders, including students, faculty, industry expert, and alumni, be systematically integrated into the curriculum? I can ask this, and I then ask it the question to develop survey or questionnaire for each stakeholder. Alignment with goal, comparative analysis, continuous mentor.
Dr. Muhammad, I would
Yes.
ask one of us who is watching the TV, please unmute yourself.
Okay, yes, please.
Yeah, because there is a noise. We need to listen to you carefully.
Thank
So
you.
if someone is not or is need to be unmuted, please unmute yourself.
Yes, please. Okay, Prof. Fadi. So
Go ahead.
let us go to an okay,
Yeah.
or let us make.
دكتور وجدي أنا ممكن أعمل ميوت أول وبعدين دكتور محمد
Would you-
يبقى unmute. Yeah, I
بس
can have. Okay.
Dr. Muhammad, you have
You
to
have
to
unmute
unmute
yourself. Okay.
Okay.
I will mute all. Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this where's the promise for curriculum evaluation? Let us go to the prompt for improving teaching and learning quality. Let us get to take the first one because all of us like it, about professional development. What regular professional development opportunities can be introduced to ensure faculty are up to date with the latest pedagogical strategies and technologies? For example, for this, let us take this and ask it question. Okay. Okay, in this program, and from this, I can take some element and go ask it to go deeply about the faculty development. Regular professional development opportunities are essential to ensure that the faculty are equipped with the latest pedagogical strategies and technologies, particularly in the program as a dynamic as health professional education. There are several professional development workshops and seminars, online courses, attendance at conference. Let's take this. Could you help me to develop some I take all of the workshop and seminars. I'll ask it, including attendance faculty exchange program on campus, mentoring program. If I like mentoring program, I can ask it to develop a mentoring programs related to this master program, or I take the workshop. I can take one of the workshop and I ask it, please give me the outline of this workshop, its learning outcomes, its objectives. MashaAllah, I think it heard me. Objectives, agenda, and it is the title of it, modern assessment tools. I can take one as it is and ask it, give me more details about it. About even, I can ask it, what are the activity to be done in this workshop? And go deeply, how can I implement this activity? It will tell us about the number of participants and what types of this activity, and the duration. If I tell it that this is for 30-minute activity, it will tailor the 30-minute activity to it. Here, advanced teaching methodology for health education. It gives me the duration 6 weeks. I can tell it, no, I need it in the form of 1 lecture or 3-hour workshop, whatever. So this is some example of workshop to be organized as a professional development. What other element to improve teaching and learning feedback mechanism, diverse instruction method, resource utilization, measurement of learning outcome? Please, Dr. Wagd, I am waiting for your question, especially in this area of faculty development.
Actually, it's not my question, Dr. Muhammad, because we are approaching 9:30 Cairo time now. We need now for the extra 10 or 20 minutes to open the floor for the questions. And then we can hold another webinar for the rest of your very valuable lecture about AI and ChatGPT.
But we have an extra 30 minutes. We have an extra 30 minutes. Can you give me 15 minutes to continue?
I think I can give you 5 or 10 minutes because I asked this webinar to be more interactive. So we need very much. I can see in the chat room a lot of questions that's still unanswered. So if you just can wrap up, you can wrap up your very valuable lecture, and then please look at the chat and answer the questions of the participants.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. What I'll do now, I'll go through all the next slides, and inshallah, all these slides will be with you. You can just go through it and use it like Prof. I think, alhamdulillah, you now master or know about the prompt engineering, but you need to practice and to use all this. So we here in the area of for enhancing teaching and learning, and this is the promise related to it. After this, we have a promise for basic research activity. It's the same. We have a promise related to research foundation, literature review, data collection and management, research ethics. This is a ready-made promise. You just copy it and paste it and do the same that we do previously with other prompts. This is also for basic research activity. This again, okay? We have another for enhancing and evaluating research collaboration, funding opportunities, publication and dissemination, research trading and mentorship, tools and software, statistical methods. This is for data analysis. All of this is present, but this is present in advanced and basic data analytic tools in ChatGPT, handling large data, descriptive statistics. It could do descriptive statistics to us, data cleaning, graphical representation, basic hypothesis testing, correlation and causation, also algorithm suggestions. This is the advanced data analysis, code debugging, visualization recommendation, feature engineering, model interpretation. All of this, you can use it, but use the correct platform in the ChatGPT, either with Bing to browse internet, with advanced data analysis, with Dale if you need to create image. For leaders, if you need to develop a mission, vision, strategic plan, you can do this. To know your leadership styles, change management, it could give you some tips for change management, as you mentioned before, faculty development, stakeholder management and engagement. So this is some of the different way of using the ChatGPT in academia, teaching, learning, basic research, advanced research, equality, leadership. All of this, just if you master the skills of prompt engineering and crafting, you can use it with ChatGPT or Bing or Bard. The last, I'll go through some ethical consideration about and the challenge about ChatGPT. We need to speak about academic integrity. This is because there is a lack of proper regulation anywhere in the world. There is no rules and policies about using ChatGPT. Privacy concern. For this reason, Italy in April 2023 banned ChatGPT because of the issue of privacy. Because all of the data we put in the ChatGPT, it will be in ChatGPT and it will use it to another user. Cognitive bias, as we mentioned, ChatGPT answer us based on the information in it. So should it is a cognitive bias. Gender and diversity, accessibility. Now, for example, Egypt ChatGPT is banned in it, but even if ChatGPT is available in our country, but need is for commercialization for the using ChatGPT. So the take-home message I conclude in this very short video, which is also created by ChatGPT. By the way, this is the photo image which is created by ChatGPT, and this is you after this webinar, inshallah. You are smiling and your face is like these eagles. The last thing, just 2 minutes, Prof. Wagdi, is a video created
The
by
future of medical
ChatGPT
education is
about
evolving.
the
Enter
AI
AI,
and the medical
no longer
education.
confined to the realm of
As a
science
conclusion.
fiction. Artificial intelligence is now a tangible reality, revolutionizing how we approach healthcare education. Welcome to the age of AI in medical education. Imagine personalized learning experiences and 24/7 AI-driven support. The role of artificial intelligence in education is pivotal. It allows for tailored, immersive experiences catered to the unique learning style of each student. Educators, too, benefit from constant AI support, enabling them to focus on refining their teaching strategies. The result? A dynamic, interactive learning environment that fosters growth and encourages curiosity. It's a brave new world of education where AI is redefining the learning landscape. Ever thought of instant, precise assessments? That's what AI brings to the table. Imagine a world where automated quizzes adapt to each learner's knowledge level, providing feedback in real time. Imagine further, predictive analytics that can accurately gauge a learner's understanding, even before they complete an assessment. This isn't a distant dream, but a reality that AI is making possible today. AI provides an analytical edge that revolutionizes assessment methods. AI doesn't stop at learning and assessment, it's making research more robust. Imagine literature reviews where AI can sift through vast amounts of information, highlighting relevant findings and patterns that might otherwise be overlooked. Picture data visualizations that transform complex data sets into understandable, meaningful insights. This isn't just about making research easier. It's about making it better, more accurate, and more impactful. AI unlocks deeper insights and paves the way for groundbreaking discoveries. AI isn't just about data, it's about refining leadership and empowering university leaders. Leadership is a skill that can be honed, and with AI, we're taking it a step further. Imagine leadership simulations powered by AI, offering real-time feedback and helping to shape resilient leaders for the future of healthcare. AI is more than a tool, it's a game changer for medical education, redefining learning, enhancing assessments, robust research, and refined leadership all become a reality with AI. Harness AI and transform medical education. The future is here. Want to explore more about AI in medical education? Check out our other videos. Stay tuned for more insights on AI in medical education.
Okay. Thank you. This is the conclusion by a video which was created using ChatGPT Plus and Video AI, which is one of the plug-in which is present in ChatGPT 4. Prof. Wagdi, I just finished and the floor is with you and with our valuable audience and participants to ask any questions. Hopefully I can answer it. Thank you for all of you and waiting for your questions.
The future
Thank you very much, Dr.
Dr. Hala, you are muted.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Mohammed Hassanein, for the clear, informative, interesting, and fruitful webinar. Well done and well prepared. Thank you very much. ونستأذن حضرتك عايزين الريكورد. We need our presentation. Yeah,
Yes.
لو سمحت. Okay.
Record presentation and guidelines and everything. I'll send it to you, دكتورة هالة إن شاء الله بروفيسور.
شكرا جزيلا. ومعلش أشوف لو في أسئلة في الشات.
Sure.
لا هو في جوجل فورم feedback جوجل فورم please fill it for all attendee. And if any question, please raise your hand or put it in the chat before Dr. Muhammad leave us.
There are a couple of questions, Dr. Muhammad, in the chat, asking about how harmful would be the ChatGPT. It's something that's very useful, especially in medical education, but still it has its disadvantages and harmful effects. So if you can comment on that.
As I think as any new tools, it have advantages and disadvantages, or limitation, or harmful, as you mentioned, or some of our participants mentioned. But overall, from my humble experience with it, it is how we will use this tool. If you use it in the correct manner and the ethical manner, I think it will save our time, make us more productive, efficient, save a lot of time for us. And when I started to give a webinar and workshop in AI, I like a nice quotation about AI. AI will not replace us, but it will replace the most boring part of our jobs. I agree with this, but ongoing webinar and ongoing training and getting more skillful with it, I think the new quote which I'd like to say it to all of you today, inshallah, is that AI will not replace us, but people who are smarter and master the skills and the competence of AI will replace who don't. It is I think, Prof. Wagdi, it is like the era of medical education, and you are our pioneer in it. When you start medical education, I think it was new for all of us, and even after us, it is the same. But with generation, it became must that everyone must know about medical education. I think this will be the rule for AI. It is a tool. It is about how we will use this tool in our work. This is, and I actually use it. I heavily use it, and I actually benefit from it as regarding time management, time and efficiency and productivity. So let us try and see, because till now we didn't have any evidence-based study about the use of AI in education or in any field, especially ChatGPT. ChatGPT just released last November, only 1 year.
Okay, but if I can explore more on the question of the harmful effects of ChatGPT, because as you all know, I run 3 online programs that's assignment based, and the 3 programs are totally online programs. After creating the ChatGPT, we are suspecting now that some of the assignments which are answered in a perfect way, that this would be the creation of the ChatGPT, not out of the creativity of our students. So could you explain to us how can we differentiate between the real answer and the answers that's created by ChatGPT? Is there any tips that you can give us that we can detect the real answers from the plagiarized answers of the ChatGPT?
Thank you, Prof. Wagdi, to raise this important point. ChatGPT itself, if you put the answer or in the advanced data analytics option in ChatGPT 4, put the file and ask it, is this file or
you
this...
will say yes.
Yes,
you will say this is my creation.
Yes, this is one. And
Yeah.
also nowadays, some of the software which used for plagiarism, especially Turnitin, also has a new option for scanning the document for AI generation. So this is another way. And also there is another application which I think it is ChatGPT Zero or something like this, which also you can use it to scan the document or to check if this text or this assignment is AI generated or not. So there are many ways, but the problem before this, Prof. Wagdi, is till this moment, this point, there is no lack of a clear regulation in almost all institutions about what do's and don'ts about use AI in academia. And this is what we need in academia, teaching, learning, assignment, and in research and data analysis. We need this. And I'm happy that we are today with leaders and pioneers in medical education till we have something like this. And I'd like to thank Dr. Mona Abu Saud, for example, shared with us today certain guidelines which start to have in our country that about criteria for using ChatGPT. If this is expanded and disseminated in all our institution, it will be a great effort to our students and even to us when using AI in academia.
Can I ask Dr. Arshana or Arkana? I'm sorry if I pronounce your name in the wrong way. Can you unmute yourself and tell us your comment yourself, please, Dr. Arshana?
Yes, good evening. Thank you for the opportunity. I came across this Zero GPT. I have not used it extensively, but I read that this has the ability to detect the content generated by ChatGPT, but not with 100% success. But studies claim that maybe up to 50 to 60%, something like that. I'm not sure, but it is capable of detecting. Thank you.
And what is that? What is that again, Dr. Arshan? Is it a link or an app or something?
I have not used it personally. I read it in one of the groups where we discuss everything related to AI. No?
Yeah.
Maybe if I get more information about that, I will share.
Please send it to us. Send it
sure,
to us.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I write down my email, so in case you find something like this, please send the links to us.
Sure, Prof. My pleasure.
We also have a couple of participants from India and two others from Pakistan. We would like to hear your voices, guys.
And by the way, before hearing from them, I'd like to thank Dr. Arshana, Dr. Wagdi, because she is the first one to ask about this webinar and to register in it.
Excellent.
Yes, she watches the announcement. She communicates with me and asked me how to register in it. So,
but she didn't tell us how to pronounce her name. Is it Archana or Arkana?
Archana.
Archana.
Yes.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Arshana. Thank you. You are most welcome.
Okay. What about the other friends from India, like Dr. Sorpanini? Mohan? Could you unmute yourself, please, sir? Dr. Sajia and Dr. Who else?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, Dr. Sajia. Hi. Nice to hear your voice.
So it's really nice to see you because I'm 2019 FAMER fellow, so we met in Philadelphia. So that's nice to see you. So it was interesting, and I learned a lot from this. But I think these type of webinars should continue because today we learned about ChatGPT, but I just also want to learn from you about how we can create a good video, something like that. So I think that would be helpful for us because today we learned a lot about ChatGPT and prompt and how we can use all these things. So I think these
Have
sort of
you
should
watching
continue.
have you watched the videos that Dr. Muhammad Hassanin created
Yes,
for that webinar?
yes,
Because
yes,
it's
yes,
made
yes.
by ChatGPT.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Oh,
in his
yes.
next webinar, he will teach us how to create videos by ChatGPT.
For
So
sure.
Yes.
wait for the next
Yeah.
webinar that he will conduct for us.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you,
It was
Dr.
very
Sajja.
informative.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Who else want to either ask a question or comment? We need to hear from you. Dr. Mona Saud, could you unmute yourself and tell us what exactly you want to ask about?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm very sorry. I have a bad cold, so my voice may be a little bit changed. But first of all, I'd like to thank Professor Muhammad Hassan. My comment is actually about being at a disadvantage because we don't have access to ChatGPT in Egypt, unfortunately. So whatever you have a suggestion,
Yeah.
I mean, like you mentioned earlier in today's
Dr. Mona, unfortunately, the connectivity is a little difficult from your end. So if you can just write down in the chat your question, Dr. Muhammad will answer it too.
Already,
Yeah.
Dr. already wrote. I'm not sure if you have more than questions that you wrote on the chat. Dr. Mona, please, as mentioned by Prof. Wagdi, write it. Dr. Mona asked about we are disadvantaged in Egypt that we didn't have access to ChatGPT. Actually, we have.
Dr. Archana wrote the link that we asked about. So please take a copy of this link because we will need it later.
Yeah.
Dr. Nurhan. Yeah. Okay. We have a nice friend from Libya as well, Dr. Ayman. Could you unmute yourself if you need to ask a question?
I'll just answer Dr. Mona, Prof. Wagdi.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, Dr. Mona, you have two options. The first one, you can use alternatives, which is Bing browser and Bing chat. It could be comparable to some extent to ChatGPT because both use the same model, which is GPT-4. This is one option. Another option, which is available on the YouTube, you will find many YouTube's video that could help you to use ChatGPT in Egypt. Just Googleize how to use ChatGPT in Egypt, and you can find more than one video that it is helpful to you. And we do this as before, because let us say that the banning is not from our country, the banning is from OpenAI itself, the company, and I'm not sure why they banned it. This was the same in Saudi Arabia, but maybe 1 or 2 months ago they released it in Saudi Arabia, and I think this will be the case in Egypt soon, inshallah.
Okay. Prof. Mohan from India, are you there? Could you unmute yourself, please? Prof. Mohan. Okay. In case anyone else is having
Dr.
a
Ayman
question.
wanted to ask Prof. Wagdi.
Dr. Ayman from Libya.
Yeah. Dr. Ayman
Assalamu
Bograr. Yes.
alaikum. I
Alaikum
am
salam.
very
Alaykum
happy.
assalam wa rahmatullah.
I am very happy to meet you and thank you, Professor Wajdi and Professor Muhammad Hassanein for this meeting. And this is the second time I attend this lecture, but really it's in the second time now I understand more and more.
Alhamdulillah.
And thank you, Professor, for your generous invitation for Libyan Association of Medical Education and support also. And we are very happy to attend another meetings like this to have an idea and to discuss and learn from each other. Thank you again, Professor Wajdi and Professor Muhammad Hassanein.
Almost
Thank you,
welcome.
Dr. Ayman.
You.
Thank you. Dr. Angie is having a question. She's
Yeah.
raising her hand.
Good evening, Dr. Wagdi and Dr. Muhammad. Thank you so much for this amazing webinar. I learned a lot from it, and I would like to share with you my experience with ChatGPT. It's actually very useful, as you said, but the output needed to be handled with caution, because it's usually very productive and usually very comprehensive, but sometimes the depth of information is not enough for a certain situation. So this was my advice when you said, Dr. Wagdi, how can we detect the answers that is generated by ChatGPT? Despite it produce a very comprehensive answer, it sometimes is not in enough depth that someone who read a text or who read a literature would generate. So it's usually very, very long, very, very informative, but sometimes I find it very superficial. So if someone actually read an article and is trying to produce output from the article, the answer would be much, much more deeper. So we can, from reading several assignments, for example, as an evaluator, we can identify if this one is generated by an AI or actual person is writing this, but it needs, I think, more training or someone that, as you, is experienced with evaluating assignments. And I have a good announcement that I would like to share with you, that I have published an article about using AI in problem-based learning. It's accepted as a really good stuff in medical education, and it will be released soon. So I would like to share this amazing experience with you.
Thank you, Dr. Angie, and congratulations for you. We are, and sure, Prof. Wagdi and all of us, happy to hear this from you. Just to add something to you, yes, I agree with you that ChatGPT may sometimes retrieve superficial information, but it is like a competition between a human and artificial intelligence. Nowadays, by more and more plug-in and by the option of advanced data analytics, it become more and more advanced. And even before, at maybe 4 or 5 months, we asked everyone, don't trust any reference came from ChatGPT, because
Yes,
it
that's
is
correct.
a good indicator for it is
Yes, it generate wrong
Exactly.
citation.
Yes, but now with the plugin, which contains like Mendeley, or it has now a plugin to create references and manage it electronically. And you can retrieve reference and ask it to put it in certain style, like Harvard or Vancouver, for example. And so it is like now a competition. The shortage or the defect in it, they are working in it and they come by a new version, continuously improvement of its facilities and the capabilities. So it needs us to cope with this rapid or fast change. And
Yeah, I totally agree. Maybe because when I first I introduced to ChatGPT, I had a very high expectations, but it wasn't at that level. But maybe within few months it will be this level. Of course, yeah, I agree to.
Prof. Amira Wali is having a question and she is raising her hand. Prof. Amira, unmute yourself, please.
Good evening, dear Professor Wajdi and Professor Muhammad Hassanin, Professor Hala Agina. Thank you very much for all who participated in organizing this valuable webinar. Actually, I have attended the session earlier with Delta University when Professor Muhammad has conducted this webinar for us there. But I think if it is going to be held for a third time, I will attend again because each time we realize something more in depth. My question, not to be lengthy for you, my question is, to what extent can we rely upon AI in creating the question banks for the medical students assessment?
Again, Doctora, thank you, Doctora Amira, and I'm happy that you attend you for me for the second time. Actually, it is again, if we return back to the slide about verification of the output, start and verify the question. If the questions is really and do peer review for each question. If the questions is measuring the outcomes as you want, if it is well written, why not we can use it for creating our question bank? I think it could be a good practice for both formative and summatives. And one of our concerns is that the student could do the same. I think this is one of our concerns. But what is the problem if we have, for example, 10,000 questions in certain course created by ChatGPT? Because before maybe 2 or 3 years ago, before the era of AI, we started to use the item generating software and try to train ourselves on it, which is the same way, which is the same example. We make like...
Yes, I totally agree. I totally agree with you. I just wanted to know if I'm taking the right side because as you know, the young generation of medical educators and also the seniors may have some difficulty finding the time or the interest to formulate the questions from the scratch. So why not they can use it as an aid and verify the questions or apply what the criteria for the output and see what to take and what to leave and what to modify according to the learning outcome and according to the right criteria or the reference criteria that we need to include in the question.
Thank you, Prof. Amira, Dr. Muhammad, because we ran out of time already with the 30-minute extra time. But if we would accept one more question, can I ask Dr. Jayotsna, MB, could you unmute yourself? Because probably I don't pronounce your name in the right way. Dr. Jayotsna, MB. Okay, I think she is not listening to us. So if you do have one last question, please raise your hand. We'll take just one question.
Here in the chat, Dr. Rasha mentioned we can use question provided from ChatGPT, then fine-tune them after. This is a good suggestion also, but by the end, it will give us a lot of questions, and for my humble experience, most of them are of good quality, and even we can ask it to make it more cognitive, to change it. So I think, Dr. Amira, you can go through this experience and tell us about it. I think it will be promising, inshallah.
Thank you, Prof. Hassanin. Back to you, Prof. Hala.
Thank you very much for all of these. Thank you for Professor Muhammad Hassanin for the valuable, informative webinar. And thank you for Dr. Talat for his guide. And inshallah, we will continue for a second webinar. Please fill the Google form for the feedback, and thank you and see you again.
Thank you, Prof.
Assalamu
Hala.
alaikum.
Thank you, Prof. Hala, Prof. Wagdi, and
Thank
all
you
of
all.
Thank you all. Thank you. See you soon, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you,
Alaikum
Prof. Muhammad.
assalam.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you.